Hello, everybody. How are you? And you, and you, and you, and you. How's it going, eh? T. Fuller, Comic Crack. This was on today. Sorry. Should have brought down toothpicks. The first annual Lansdowne Comic Con. A guy I've sold books to and bought books from on the Facebook group goes by the name of Vince. He's the principal of the school, and they had their first comic convention. It was $30 to set a table up. It was free to get in. They had one of the classrooms and some of the students that would take care of your kids if they wanted to play and not wander around. Lillian checked it out briefly. She didn't want to. She didn't feel comfortable. Totally fine. But it's nice that they had that option. Mostly comic vendors. There was a guy who had a couple of records along with comics. There was a guy selling paperback books. There was somebody who had coins. There was Justin was there from Galaxy, who sells video games and stuff, but most of it was comics. There was some toys, as there always is, but most was comics, and it was free to get in. Did I mention that? It was free. Really, really great, actually. The guys who were there, most of the guys I knew. There was a couple of new faces, but most of the guys I've seen before. I would have got a table. It's just at the time that he was looking, at the time when he was booking people, I just couldn't commit 100%, and I didn't want to drop $30 plus take up a spot that he could rent to somebody else on the chance that I couldn't make it. But as luck would have it, I was available today. So we went down to check it out. And I'm really glad I did. A little bit of a drive from my place, but not too bad. Honestly, really not bad. We're kind of central. Where we live is kind of by Polo Park, one of the big shopping malls in town. We're kind of in that neck of the woods, which is pretty much downtown. So it's from where I live to any part of the city, it's roughly a half an hour drive at the most, kind of thing. So it was about I don't know, 20-minute drive from our place, 15-minute drive. And managed to find a lot of great stuff. A lot of the people there, because it was kind of a school, they kind of tailored, some of the guys that I was talking to tailored what they brought because there was going to be kids and stuff there. So they had a lot of kind of kid-friendly stuff. One vendor I was talking to specifically didn't bring a lot of his big books because he just didn't think there would be point. He brought it in a lot of stuff that he had. All of his stuff was 50% off. And all reasonably priced. I think he was saying that he had nothing that was priced. Well, I don't know. I don't remember. Either way, 50% off. There was guys with dollar bins. There was guys with 25-cent bins, which were just, I didn't have a chance to look through those books. Lillian only had so much kind of patience, and I only had so much time and money. So, and I went looking for specific stuff as well. So I'd say a success, and I hope that he does it again next year. Yeah, he seemed happy with it, and the thing that he was kind of concerned with the most was were all the vendors happy with the layout. It was in a gymnasium. There was plenty of room in the aisles. On some of the cons that we go to, some of the mini cons that we go to, the rooms are only so big, and it ends up the aisleways are they become a little cramped. But because this was in a gym and because they had limited, I believe he had a limit on how many tables he would rent, that really helped, because there was a couple of people that were walking through with strollers, and I was there, and I'm sure I know a number of you were there as well too, where you're with a stroller and it just becomes a hassle to go anywhere. Something like this, it wasn't a hassle whatsoever. There was plenty of room to wander around in your stroller. I just wanted to show this one first because it's at the top of the pile. it was very, very cool find. I can't remember how much it was. This was one of the 50% off ones. It might have been like $2.50 or something, $2.50. A little digest sized book called Shocking Tales, which I've never seen. And in my CLZ app, when I entered it, it was the only one that came up. I think it said, did it say 1980s? Oh my goodness. Stand by. Let me blind you for 1 sec. Let's just see. Just talk amongst yourselves. October 1981. I tell you, this light right here, for when I'm sitting down here at night, it's the greatest Value Village find ever. So there we go. So yeah, some Shocking Tales, great cover. Apparently there's a Kirby inside. I haven't really sat and looked through the whole thing, but all color reproductions of old sci-fi horror-ish type titles. Line up. So that was a pretty great little book. These digest books are always pretty fun. I remember these fondly. Well, not the horror sci-fi ones, just this digest book was something that we used to get a lot of, especially with, obviously, like a lot of people, Archie and that sort of thing. But I'm pretty sure back in the day I had Plop in this format as well too. All those books are long gone. I still have some of the Mad Magazine related stuff, probably the Don Martin and Spy versus Spy stuff. But yeah, so that was a cool little find. I'll just kind of show you the big book of the bunch. Let me just make some space here. Sorry. So I have some place to put things. It was $15 and I'm happy with it. It's in beautiful shape. It's one off my list that I was looking for. Mr. Trejo, Samuel, how are you? One that's been on my list. It was on my 2017 list, possibly. Hey, look, yes. It was on this list here, which I still actually have up there. So I need one more book now to complete this run. So this is Doctor Strange, number 177. So all I need is number 169 to be, then I'll have that entire first volume, the Marvel feature, and then the second volume, or I guess the third volume. I've got them all now, so then it's really just the Strange Tales. Well, just the Strange Tales, because that'll be so easy to collect. I don't know how hardcore I'm going to go for the Doctor Strange Tales stuff, though. I picked up a number here and there, but they've all been really, really cheap. I don't think I'd go too hardcore. I just really want this series, so that's good. One more of those to go. Yeah, but I never see this one around town. It's just not one that pops up. 169 doesn't pop up either. I thought I just assumed that both of these issues I'd have to look for online, because I do see them on everybody's favorite eBay. But again, the ones that I've seen on eBay have been pretty pricey. So $15 in town, it's great. And it's a guy I bought from before. I bought some Epic magazines from him a little while back. And I've seen him at a lot of cons. So yeah. So that was a good score. I'm really glad to have that sucker. A couple of more losers. A couple of bucks a piece. I can't remember. This one was like maybe $2 or something. Then the other one was $1. So issue number 168. It's all bent up there, but other than that, it's not in bad shape. I watched ETA Nick's video where he was talking about kind of his the poor man's pressing process. So I was thinking maybe trying to just lay some books on this corner here just to kind of flatten it out a little bit, because when it's not in the bag, it's pretty messed up. But that doesn't matter because I have the book, so that puts me another closer. And then this one, some major spine roll on this one, but it was only $1 again. So issue 174. I may try his trick with this. He had the trick with the backing board down in the middle. I'm curious to see how that goes. It seems to work for him, he was saying. You have to let it sit for a long period of time with lots of weight on it, but I don't know, might be a fun little thing to try, just because why the hell not? So yeah, 2 more losers, which is awesome. And then kind of the score of the thing that I was looking for the most in my hunts. And there was actually quite a lot. I got a good chunk of them, all for pretty cheap. So it's pressing, just putting heavy stuff on top. Yeah, I mean, ETA Nick's version of it was, yes, he had this thing where you find kind of the center of the book. You put in a backing board that's much bigger than the book and put it right in the middle, so it gives you something to kind of curl the book over on top of, hold it onto the open side, and just lay some heavy books right along the spine. And in one of his videos, he showed him doing that process, and he'd let it sit for 24 hours only with one book. He didn't do it kind of with as many books or as much weight for a long period of time as he normally does, he says, but it was just more of kind of to show you how it's done. I know that there's a bunch of guys there, they actually have like pressing machines that incorporate like steam and stuff like that. But I'm not so hardcore into it that I want to invest in some big machine just to press the books. And I do know that there's guys here in town that they'll press books for you. They're kind of all in this group who does a lot of CGCing. They kind of, a group of them go in together, and everybody don't get some books, and they send off one big shipment to CGC so they can kind of all share the shipping costs. So whenever that's coming up, there's always 1 or 2 guys that offer their services for pressing books. Paulo Costa, hello, how are you? They offer those services. I'm again, it's not something that I'm really that concerned about. I just thought it would be fun to kind of try myself, especially with a book like The Losers. A lot of those guys, when they do send stuff to CGC after they've pressed them, it usually ups the grade a little bit. I mean, it really depends on the quality of the book, right? But yeah, so I may give it a shot. So got a bunch of unexpected, which was not completely unexpected. I've never really paid too much attention to the horror books when I go to these conventions. So I wasn't surprised to see some there. I was kind of hoping to see some earlier issues there, or more earlier issues there. I didn't see too many. And out of the few that I did, this one was kind of in the most kind of, even for me, you know, low grade is better than no grade. There were some that were just too trashed, even though they were $1. I just know that because I want to sit and read them, and it looked like they would fall apart even reading them. So I didn't really want to even spend the $1 on a book that I know that I would want to upgrade later. I'd rather spend that $1 on a book that I want to keep, which I did, because a number of these unexpected were $1 a piece, some of the later issues. So the earliest one I got was number 90 with a pretty wild cover. My twin, the Tiger Man. No, don't shoot. When you hit him, you harm me. Also a fantastic green glob adventure, hero of 50 million BC. So that was a $5, as said on the front there. This was part of the 50% off. So original price was, oh, actually he had the price on the back as 16, I guess, marked down to 5. So that's pretty good. Oh my God, Adam, perfect timing. This is the first one I'm showing, my friend. Yeah, so this is number 90. So, like I said, there was a couple of more. This Tales of the Unexpected, I don't see these as often as I see just the regular Unexpected title. But yeah, it's always nice to find some. Number 136. Stranger from the Swamp. It's a really nice, thicker issue there. What is that, a 48 pager? 52 pager, it says on the spine there. So that one's in really nice shape. I love this old DC logo as well too. I mean, I love the big circle DC, but the horror bat kind of DC logo was pretty fantastic. So yeah, 136. Another beautiful cover. Looks like someone traced over it at one point. Number 137. Unbeliever, you think I'm a faker, then look into my evil eye and die. Look at that sucker. Look at this guy up here. So great. Love it. So 137. Some really great. I think I flipped through this one. Let's have a little flip through, shall we? Since a few of you are actually here to join me. Yeah, I mean, you know, again, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, can you see those holes in there? You may be able to see them there. It's not the end of the world whatsoever, but this is kind of the grade. And again, for the price, that's perfect. It doesn't bother me whatsoever because I have the book. I think this was the one I was looking through. I think it was in this issue. Yeah, here we go. So in this one has some art with by Wally Wood as well in this particular story. So I'm not sure if he did the inking. There's two names attached. If you can see it down there. So that'll be cool. Hello, Volstix. How are you? Nice for you to join us. That's good timing. Adam says, I bit the bullet on some tasty eBay steals on DC silver and bronze today following our chat the other day. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing what you got. There you go. There's some more in there as I peek around the corner. Not creepy whatsoever. Just an eyeball hanging out. So there we go. I thought there was one in here as well. No, it must have been in another issue. Anyway, it's the same thing when I'm looking through these. Some of the crazy art in these is just really impressive to me. I'm really excited to kind of dig deeper into all these old DC horror books, especially. So that was issue 137. And then another great cover, issue 139. $5,000 if you can survive one night, as long as this guy doesn't get you. That's great stuff there. Love it. This DC logo as well, I love. It's really basic. Isn't that more kind of close to what they've kind of gone back to nowadays? Didn't they change up their logo just recently again? And this cover I've seen before. I've seen this online, and I've always thought it was impressive. It has kind of a Ditko feel to it. I'm just looking to see if there is a signature on it, and I'm not seeing one. I don't see one, but issue number 140. Check that shit out. The Anatomy of Hate. Such a great cover. So fantastic. Those colors around there. It just screams Ditko to me, that picture. Really, really amazing. 140. 151. With a demon coming out of the volcano. This one is great. We'll pop this one open. 100-pager. This one was $4. This was a 50% off one. Number 158. He had two copies of this. One that was $2 and this one that was $4. The one that was $2 was pretty trashed though, so I figured for $2 more, let's get the one that's kind of held together a little better. This one has some older reprints as well too. When I was flipping through this. Yeah, I mean, 100-pager, you can't go wrong, right? So this was a story here that has a 1953 copyright on it. Johnny Peril, The End of Death. Yeah, that 151 looks more like a Marvel cover. Absolutely it does, with that picture frame kind of style. Yeah, they didn't do that too often, did they, Paulo? DC seems to me anyway, when I look back at these older ones that they've done, they used to do a lot more kind of full page, which is what I love. I love the picture frame covers as well too, but the full page is fantastic. Like, look at this stuff in here. Really great. Really has that kind of 50s feel, and those colors are really still nice and vibrant there. What else did we have in here? I thought there was something else out of control in this one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting stuck into these suckers. Prisoner of the Power Stone, art by Mort Meskin. Doesn't have a copyright there for the year, at least not one that I can see right now. The Bewitched Beauty, this looks like another older reprint. There you go. Yeah, again, considering $4, that square bound is in pretty nice shape. Put that away in a sec. Onto the dollar ones, much later ones. Issue 181. Beware of Kitty's Claws. Issue number 202 with a giant killer bunny. Got fangs. 204. Great cover there. Love it. So cool. That's a shirt right there. That's a poster. And finally, for Unexpected, issue number 211. With a Buckler and Giordano cover. Yeah, I love the Giant Bunny. The Giant Bunny is amazing. Yeah, it's really great. And then on the side, I have a couple of other magazines that I found for $1 a piece, but I'm not going to show those off because someone who is not currently here is going to be getting those, and I don't want the surprise to be ruined. You know who you are. Maybe you don't. That's about it. I didn't get too much, but like I said, it was really great. I'll just show this off again there, Adam, because I don't know if you saw this. This was the first thing, a little digest for kind of $2.50. When I put it in CLZ, it was the only one that was listed from 1981, I think I said. So Hassenpfeffer, that's correct. Yes, Paulo Costa, rabbits are evil. We had a rabbit when I was a kid growing up, and the little fucker used to bite us all the time. Her name was Sue, so we brought her to my Opa had a farm where he had another, no more 2001 Nights. I couldn't find any. I did look. There was a guy who was selling a bunch of Viz-related manga reprints. So as soon as I found that little stack, I was pretty damn excited and started flipping through, but no 2001 Nights, unfortunately. So we had this rabbit, brought it to this farm where there was a male rabbit. Sue was so aggressive, she was mounting the male rabbit. And then one day we were told that apparently she dug a hole under the fence and took off and was never seen from again. She was a mean little bastard, though. By the way, the Challengers of the Unknown miniseries I mentioned is written by Jeff Loeb and is 8 issues from 91. That's awesome. So it's not Loeb and Sale then, hey? Just written by Jeff Loeb, which is great. I'll have to have a look for that. Did I just see an ad recently with DC that there's going to be a new Challengers of the Unknown series happening, or mini-series, with some new people, some new characters. I did see a couple of Challengers of the Unknown books while I was there, but they were at the same booth that had, whoops. Siri all of a sudden heard me talking about Challengers of the Unknown and had some responses for me. Oh, awesome. It's Loeb and drawn by Tim Sale with really nice bowling covers. Well, shit. I mean, what the hell? You can't go wrong with that. There was some Challenges of the Unknown, but it was at the same booth that had the Unexpected, so my money went to the Unexpected instead. I'm sure I'll find some more Challenges of the Unknown at the next convention. So there's another mini convention that I'll be selling at this time in March, near the end of March. So that'll be great. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, but that's it. Short and sweet this time. I just wanted to share about the comic convention. Vince did a great job, as I said. Really, really great. The key being that it was comics, and there was comics, and there was more comics with a little bit of toys and a little bit of other stuff, but it was mostly comics, and it was free to get in. They also did have kind of a hamper where you could bring some food items. So we brought a couple of cans of food to donate as well too. And the money that they did raise, they also had kind of a 50-50 draw, I believe. And I think the money that they raised from the rental of the tables were going to a Quebec trip for some of the students at the school. So again, just really, really great. I did have a chance to talk to Vince again before I left and just kind of commend him for doing a hell of a job. Considering it's his first one, he did seem mildly stressed out. I can just imagine putting something like that together. There was a Challenger series in 1996 with all new characters. I'd bought an issue. It had art by John Paul Leon. Miniseries, I might have to look for that. I quite like Leon's art. Awesome. Yeah, and I mean, even the Challenger stuff that I've read right now, it doesn't blow me away. It's enjoyable enough. I think some of that stuff right now, some of the appeal to me is the art. I haven't got stuck into the Challengers that have Spectre and or sorry, not Spectre, Deadman and Swamp Thing yet. I haven't read those ones yet, so we'll see how those sit. But the earlier stuff, it's beautiful to look at. It's really incredible stuff, and some of those covers are just outstanding. Okay, thanks very much, everybody. Thanks for joining me, Adam. Great that you got to catch it live this time. Paolo, Volstix, Samuel, thank you so much for joining me. It's always nice to see you guys, and we'll talk to you later.